What is your American dream?
My American dream is we all get along and love each other.
My American dream is for my grandchildren to have all the opportunity that they should have, fulfill their own dreams, and be fully American citizens.
My American dream is peace, humanity, and justice for all.
My American dream is for people of all faiths, colors, religions to come together and to rebuild a system so that it works for everyone.
We'll all come together and become the democracy that we really are, and the strong, caring people that we are.
My American dream is no poverty, that young black men shouldn't get shot.
My American dream is that we can be a wonderful, colorful, diverse America, that we just all love each other and accept each other as we are.
My American dream is that every single American, every single person on earth is treated with the same respect and dignity afforded to everybody. Every single human on this planet should be treated with love and compassion.
We continue to aspire to what I think we can be as a country, which is what the Statue of Liberty says we are. It's just a welcoming country that's a democracy.
My American dream is a nation of immigrants that loves each other without any barriers of color, race, or class.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! First name. Well, that's easy. It's Sam. Age, well, in groundhog years, I'd say I'm about 20. Email address, well, that's Sam@Bradshaw Live. Password, well, I guess it's just gonna have to be pretzels. I'll never forget that. Oh, hello everybody! Groundhog Sam here! You caught me! I was just creating my new dating profile on CaribbeanCupid.com. On yesterday's episode of Bradshaw Live, one of the callers called and said that she had met her husband through CaribbeanCupid.com. I don't know if you all remember, but I had tried finding a date on Tinder in New York, and that didn't really work. Too blonde. Swipe left. Oh, stunning. I don't know, all the groundhogs in New York seem a little snobby. So I figured, why not try CaribbeanCupid.com? If it worked for that lady, maybe it can work for me. In the words of the infamous LL Cool J, I need love. What's better than finding a groundhog companion in the Caribbean where it's warm and sunny and beautiful? Anyway, did you miss yesterday's episode of Bradshaw Live? Well, in case you did, Brad answered a ton of immigration questions. He just gave all that legal immigration knowledge in his brain out to the people. He's amazing. And we met Mary Green, the entertainment editor of People magazine, who told her story of being adopted as an infant from South Korea by an American family, and how she wrote an article called Coming to America Saved My Life, a People editor's immigration story. It was a beautiful, poignant story about Mary's life in America with her family. Anyway, what's on today's show? You'll just have to watch and see. Enjoy. Okay, I gotta get back to this. I'm gonna look for my Caribbean groundhog mate. It's gonna happen. I feel lucky. Ha 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 ha.
He's gonna have a hard time finding Caribbean ground. I don't think there's groundhogs in the Caribbean, are there?
You never know.
I don't know. Well, welcome everybody. It's Bradshaw Live. And we're just sitting here saying, boy, the groundhog segments are getting more and more produced.
Yeah, I like them.
I think Groundhog Sam may just have a complete spin-off on the show, right?
Oh,
yeah. Right?
Maybe he should get a chair.
No, he doesn't want a chair. He wants his own show. He's been coming to me and saying, you know what, maybe I should just have a groundhog show. I'm like, damn, that's a damn,
that's a
right?
Damn.
Wow. Right, to do a groundhog show?
You created a monster.
Yeah, we certainly have.
And it's not even been a year since you've been here.
It's been Groundhog's Day. So
right.
6 months.
Jeez.
Describe.
He moves fast, that one.
Because he came to me earlier, Sam. He said, listen, Brad, I'm a star. Okay? People love me. People love me, and I should have my own show.
Getting a little big for his britches.
Yes.
there.
I said, exactly what will this show be? He goes, what I do, but just more of it.
But just
what
more.
I do, but just more of what I do. I go, well, what is it you do? You say what I do every day. That's what he said. I say what you do every day.
Did he get mad?
I said,
he gets insulted by you very easily.
Very insulted. I said, Sam, first of all, you know, your segments are getting really long. They're like 4, 5, 6 minutes now.
Long.
I don't know how that happened. You were supposed to just come on and say, this is what happened yesterday on the show, 30 seconds. And now it's like a 5, 6 minute thing.
He's not about that life.
It's prima donna.
I'm with you, Sam, on this one. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I want to see what he comes up with on Caribbean Cupid. Maybe a nice mongoose.
Well, they're supposedly making a remake of Caddyshack, and he's like I saw him. He was like having Pat Rice do you know the headshots to submit. He thinks he's going to be the new Groundhog again.
So he has your employees working for him
now
on your dime.
Correct.
I had to stand there and hold the fan. Are you kidding me? So it's like,
this groundhog is getting way too big.
Oh my God.
Too big for its britches.
Does he at least do his job?
What?
Does he do his job?
Yes, but the ego's getting big there on the groundhog.
I could have.
He's like I'm gonna.
He has fans.
Right. He's like I'm gonna put out a record. He says I'm dropping my
holiday
single. He's dropping his single right after the new year.
G-Hog Files.
Yeah, I don't know. He said he's dropping his single. I said, what are you gonna be singing about? He goes, you'll see.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome everybody. It's Brad Show Live, and it's Tuesday. Yesterday we had Man Day Monday. What do we call it?
Man Talk Monday.
Man Talk Monday.
That was great.
Tuesday we don't know what we're going to call it. Tomorrow's Hump Day, right?
Yeah.
We find out when we
we'll figure out as we schmooze what Tuesday stands for. But in the meantime, Pauline Williams, Lisa Bling Rose, Barbara Lord, Burke Madera, how you doing? Welcome back. Jella Shauna, Carol Harris, Old Burrell, Wendy Brown, Joy Palmer. It's amazing. We spend 2 hours with all of the people every day, all the squad every day, the same 2 people. I spend more time with the squad than I do with my own children.
That's probably
true. This is true.
I don't spend 2 hours with my children. It's terrible.
And I don't have children.
That's why my kids, they're going to be like, in 10 years, they're going to be on the psychiatric chair. They're going to be like, my dad, he spent 2 hours with Tamika and Carol the Tiger. Groundhog Sam. And then come home and like 10 minutes and pat me on the back. I never had a dad, you know? Spending too much time with the squad. I mean, and they're going to blame me in 10 years from now,
That's so dark.
Isn't that dark? But it's true.
The therapist's going to be looking at your children like,
to be like, what?
Groundhog
Sam? What the hell's going on?
And then the kids are going to have to be like, look at this face. Look
at this. They never gave me any time.
Going to show all these videos of you and Groundhog Sam.
Every day he would talk to the squad, but wouldn't talk to me.
The pictures of you and Groundhog Sam in your office.
Right. Oh, man.
Yeah.
He replaced your daughter. Oh, my God.
Nicola Kramer, how you doing? Joy Palmer, Marjorie Thompson. Who else we got here? By the way, Nicola Kramer, with lots of comments today, bigging up a lot of people. Abigail Taylor Watson, Lisa Bling Rose, and Dane Welcome. And Allie Boo, I see, popped in. No one likes when I say popped in.
Well, no.
They don't like it when I say popped in. When I say popped in, it's like you made a comment. But people take it as if I pop in and then I shut off the show.
Right.
No. I should say, I see Allie Boo sat down for a 2-hour extravaganza. That's what I should be saying, right?
That's exactly
Give him a little bit more credit.
Yeah. Sophia Gray, taking a seat. And getting the popcorn. And Janet Brad, how you doing? And Natalie Nichols, now you hear your name. She said she didn't hear her name. Now she does. And on YouTube, Monica Williams saying, hey guys, Princess Black, Jason Chowdhury, Ruthie Cutie, Carol Anderson, Nadira Yerg, hello everybody. Well, hello back. Anderson Andy, Alicia Allen, Terry Ann Carby joining us. Emmanuel Freysinit. Hello, she said, I don't know, Emanuela. Is that a new person? A new squad member?
You know what? I've seen her for the past couple of days.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Happy to see you.
You're good at that.
I haven't seen her, so welcome, Emanuela. I know you've been watching, but it's the first time I'm saying hello to you, so welcome. And who else we got here? Javaria Lagari says, hey there, lots of love and blessings for the Brad team. You guys looking lively and adorable as always. I just took your comment of the day. I'm sorry.
No, they already flashed it. I saw it. It's okay.
Kool-Aid saying hello. Simone SM. Deanna Wright, and Stacks B coming in with a Hey Squad.
Stacks B? We hadn't seen Stacks B in a minute.
Yes.
I like what Nairda said.
What?
Well, just say, what's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
That's like a Cardi B. What's poppin'?
What's
Yeah,
poppin'?
Vakisha
I like that.
knows. That's
I
who
like
Merida
that.
is. It's Vakisha Taylor.
So I feel like I'm coming down with like a little bit of a virus. Yes, that's right. Jonathan's like this. Stay away from me. Yeah.
Listen.
So I would say that the squad would know how to fight off a cold better. Jonathan told me that I should wrap myself in blankets tonight and sweat it out.
Drink a hot toddy and sweat that.
Belgium Kim
A fact, yeah.
told me eat a waffle. I have no idea. I don't know how a waffle is going to help my cold.
Waffle and beer, Brad.
So
that's
I
how
said,
the Belgians
that's how
do
the
it.
Belgians do it.
The answer to everything.
Yeah.
Remedy to everything.
A waffle and a beer.
Listen.
So, but I am feeling a little under the weather a little bit.
I'm telling you, man,
no
that
bueno.
vitamin C that you
like,
took.
Go ahead.
And then the vitamin C you took just now.
Right.
And then drink a hot toddy tonight. Wrap yourself up.
Now, what did I do with the vitamin C? You saved
Try
me.
to OD.
You saved me from killing myself.
He had
I asked,
a handful, which was probably about a good 15 to 20 pills of vitamin C.
A true
ready to
fistful.
just like
yes,
go
I was gonna go in all heavy on the vitamin C.
No.
They're like, you can't do that.
No.
I said, who can overdose on a vitamin C? I never heard of such a thing.
You might.
No, take
what happened to
it. There's a certain amount of vitamin C that you should take a day, and overdoing that doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. So it's not like the more vitamin C
Your
you
body
take,
just flushes it out.
It'll just flush it out. So I don't even think that's even good.
White rum, honey, and lemon.
Oh, now we're
Rum?
talking.
I don't think rum would
That's
be.
Jamaican flu shot.
Yeah, I don't think that is a Jamaican flu shot. But I don't know if the rum would help or not. But
Well, let me tell you, Brad, I haven't had the flu yet. Yes,
Really?
I have. I'm lying. I had the flu like 3 weeks ago.
Why, did you drink that?
White rum, yeah. White rum is my drink. Rum is my thing.
you had the flu?
I did. Well, I did. It wasn't. It was like an upper respiratory. I wasn't here. You saw that I wasn't here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we were trying to.
That was out.
That was just this past couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You and I haven't kissed, so we shouldn't be.
No, not lately.
No, we haven't kissed, right? No, not lately. Not at least, 3 or 4 hours,
Not
right?
at least 3 or 4
Right, so yeah, I think you are done with your upper respiratory.
Fingers crossed.
Right.
Tanisha,
Which finger for the
get your
love of
man.
God?
Yeah, Denisha's gonna come and fight you now.
Right.
She's gonna literally.
She's gonna come and fight you.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna come knock at my door
Yeah.
angrily like the police. Jeez,
Lord.
please don't.
So anyway, yesterday we reached 90 consecutive. Not consecutive. Oh, 105 contemporaneous.
110.
110 contemporaneous viewers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Facebook, I don't know what happened on Facebook. We didn't even get to 400 shares on Facebook. But YouTube won 2 free consultations. And Michael English, who won the consultation the other day, says he doesn't really need it. He's an American citizen.
Right.
Did he
He
give
just
it
likes
to
to
someone?
watch. So he was getting hit up on his Facebook
That was all thanks to me.
for the free consultation. So I said, you know what? Instead of him just randomly giving it to somebody, we're going to pull out of the machine a 3rd one.
Nice.
So Michael English is putting his free consultation back into the machine, and we're going to pick 3 free consultations, which will be done hopefully next week.
Absolutely.
I don't have time.
But we're picking them.
We're going to pick them today.
Ooh, you
Because
Now-
I'm excited. I want to know who wins.
Okay, now, we hit 110 viewers on YouTube with ease yesterday.
It was no problem at all.
No problem at all.
None.
Should we pick out of the hat the free consultations first?
Yes.
I think so.
You know, I get excited about this.
We do get real.
Because my family gets their free consultation.
That's right. By the way, Jeff Bosey is out celebrating his little girl's birthday.
Oh, very nice.
So,
Hey, happy birthday.
So
Nice.
people who are like, "Where's Jeff Bosey at?" That's where he is. Happy birthday, Jeff Bosey's daughter.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. All right, so we're gonna do this machine here. We have a lot to do, so we're gonna do it fast. We can't screw around.
Yeah, no.
What?
Wait, Brad.
Oh,
What the hell are you thinking?
Oh, you are playing.
God, that was close.
Oh, Lord.
because it wouldn't count.
It wouldn't
but
have
It wouldn't
counted.
count. It wouldn't count.
All right, we're ready
much
now
better.
to give the free consultations. Let's go. Let's see. Get close.
What's that say?
Oh.
Lady.
Lady.
I'm closing it. Belgium Kim, take the hat.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Roll this around.
We're in a bun. This is gonna destroy the bun. It's okay.
Okay.
Right. Here we go. Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? We got Johnny FC from YouTube.
Yay.
Johnny FC with the second free consultation.
Nice.
And now, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias is going to pull out the third one. Pass the hat over. Pass the hat.
Oh, you guys got on me real quick.
That's right. Hello.
All right. Boy, they got you on. Well, you look like a carnival guy too.
I know, right?
Yeah, that hat.
Step right up.
Yeah, step right up.
Right.
And what do we got?
He's mixing them good.
I'm trying to get it.
What do we got?
Oh.
Who is it?
Who is that?
Who is it?
Bakisha Taylor!
Bakisha Taylor!
Sweet.
All right, so our 3 free consultations for next week. We have Lady Leah,
Johnny FC,
and Bakisha Taylor.
Yes.
All right, congratulations, you guys. Now you got to hit up Belgium Kim. You got to hit up Belgium Kim.
On the Facebook.
As Belgium Kim likes to say, you got to slide into my DMs.
Slide in them DMs.
In those DMs.
Right, and hit her up, and we'll get it all set up for you guys. Now, today we're going to play another share game. We're willing to give away 2 more free consultations today. No, those free consultations are a value of $200. They're starting to add up. I've given away thousands of dollars.
Your
I'm
about
an
to be
idiot.
like,
Right. You're like, for such a smart lawyer, Brad, you're an idiot. So we're going to give away 2 more free consultations, but you guys got to work for it.
Yeah, definitely. This is the first time I'm actually like, give them something to work for because that's a lot.
Yeah, you got to work for it. All right. So we need on YouTube 135 contemporaneous viewers for 1 free consultation. And we need on Facebook 1,100 shares for the other free consultation. Hopefully YouTube and Facebook can get it. Now, this is how you do it on Facebook. On Facebook, there is a little button underneath that says share. Okay? And it will share, it will give a link to our show. And you can go to your WhatsApp or your SMS text, and you could send the link individually on your WhatsApp or on your SMS text to all your friends who you may think would love to watch our show in the next hour and a half. If we get to 100, what did I say?
135.
135 contemporaneous viewers on YouTube, and the way you do it is you share the link, tell people to watch our show. We get to 135 contemporaneous viewers on YouTube, I will give away a free consultation. On Facebook, we've been doing this for a while now, guys. You know how to do it. You share to groups and friends on Facebook. If we get 1,100 shares, we don't care about the viewers on Facebook, we do, but we can count the shares. Facebook will count the shares. So if we can get to 1,100 shares on Facebook, we will give away our second free consultation. Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias and Belgium Kim, while I get my schmooze ready, you tell them quickly what they're going to get. Repeat it one more time so everybody is sure what's going to happen.
Y'all, you guys are getting not just free advice on this show for 2 hours, you're going to be in the running for a free, private, one-on-one consultation with the man himself. The man that Brad Show Live is named after. The man that Spar Bernstein is named after. Brad Bernstein, y'all.
Not Show. Not Mr. Show.
Brad Show Live. Right.
Not Mr. Show.
Live.
Not Mr. Live.
Mr. Brad.
Mr. Brad.
Mr. Brad Bernstein. God, you guys are lucky.
Do you know what happens when people I'm friends with, they call me Brad? But
Yeah.
when they're mad at me, I always get a text, Mr. Brad.
Mr. Brad.
So I know when my friends are mad at me when they go, Mr. Brad.
Mr. Brad.
Mr. Brad.
That's true. They don't go full government.
They don't go Mr. Bernstein.
They go
Brad.
full government.
I go full government.
When you get that full government, you know it's a wrap.
You know they're mad.
If my mother calls me Kimberly, ish is about to go down.
Yeah, if my mom actually says Jonathan instead of Yoni.
Jonathan.
How does your mom talk? Let me hear, give me a sentence that she would yell at you about.
What do you want?
Clean up your room.
Yeah.
How would she say?
Like, I feel sorry for your life. Just because I didn't clean up my room.
Yeah, you feel sorry for your life, right? Your life is terrible now.
Swear on everything. That was an actual sentence that came out of her mouth because I didn't make my bed one day.
You know what? Everybody, it doesn't matter what culture, where you're from, everybody always blames Bob. It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody blames Bob no matter where you're from, right? Everybody's issues go back to him. Well, Bob did, you know.
That's true. I'll be in therapy and my therapist will be like, where do you think that comes from? I was like, well, my family.
My mom.
Right. I love you, Mom.
All right, so what do we get? We gotta get to, right now we got 50 share. We're at 50 people watching on YouTube. We need to reach 135. You share the link on WhatsApp. You share the link on your SMS, or you email it to your friends, right? And we got to get 1,100 shares on Facebook, and I see nobody saying, "Come on, guys, share."
Come on, guys.
Come on, y'all.
Nobody seems to care anymore.
Y'all could do this.
Yo, free consultations.
All right. So we got to get into what we call here schmoozing, or what I call me catching up on the news because I haven't read about it today. Which is very true.
That's true.
Right. So let's find out what's going on in the news, right?
Tell us, Brad.
We're gonna need a card to like
a graphic.
A graphic to go from, to
transition
more smoothly, I think.
Okay.
Instead of like the little.
Yeah, I like the schmoozing thing.
Yeah.
But we need like how we go to. You got questions? Yeah.
Or social media check-in, the one we know the name to.
You got questions.
So Julian, if you're listening to me, maybe you can surprise me tomorrow with something, right?
Oh.
Right? Maybe you'll surprise me. What do you think?
Bring it on.
I say 50-50 whether he does it.
I say 90. 90-10.
90-10, he does it or doesn't do it?
That he does it.
Belgium Kim, what do you put the odds on?
I don't put odds because I work with these people all day long, Brad, so I know better. I am Switzerland.
So meanwhile, what am I looking up?
I saw it. It said maybe.
By the way, for everybody Julian runs the TriCast, so that's how it's like it's like the poltergeist is like communicating with us. Who said that? Maybe. Who's saying that?
This is why you don't mess with the guy controlling the buttons.
That's right. Why is our show off the air now? What happened? Who pressed the off button?
That was a good one.
Looks like it's going to be Cameron, Kim, and Jan the whole time.
I can imagine like, wait, I'm here too.
Nope.
All right, so Donald Trump's been saying that Robert Mueller, who's heading the investigation into the Russian-Trump collaboration.
Right.
I don't like to call it collusion anymore. I like to call it the collaboration. It's an absolute collaboration.
Right. Absolutely.
To perhaps change what otherwise should have been Hillary Clinton winning the election. And James Comey, who refused to investigate, who investigated Hillary Clinton, said she didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
He says that he's got 100 photos of this guy, and where's the other guy? We have another guy there? Comey, we just showed Comey. This guy and that guy, yeah, here they are, right here. 100 photos of Robert Mueller and James Comey hugging and kissing.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if Trump was calling them out as being homosexual or was just saying that they're very close friends.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But the FBI has now investigated this based on Trump's accusations that he has 100 photos of Comey and Mueller hugging and kissing each other.
Gosh.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And the FBI has now reported today they don't have any of these pictures. These pictures don't exist.
So what does he just like make up shit?
He makes up shit.
That's
yes.
exactly what he does.
So Comey, who was fired as the FBI director in May 2017, tweeted his reaction to the FBI results.
Yeah.
He wrote, "My wife is so relieved," with a laughing emoji face.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well done, Comey. My wife is so relieved.
Yeah, now Trump told multiple magazine, Mueller and Comey are best friends, and I could give you 100 pictures of him and Comey hugging and kissing each other. You know he's Comey's best friend. There is no evidence to suggest that Comey and Mueller are best friends. that they have kissed each other or hugged each other, according to the FBI.
And I'll tell you, our research team looked for pictures today of them hugging and kissing.
And we couldn't find any.
We got as close as we could with those pictures, but that's as close as we ever saw them get.
There will be a picture of Comey and Mueller kissing quicker than there will be a picture of me and Belgium Kim kissing, right? Because that didn't happen either, right?
That's a stone cold fact.
Because we have never kissed, right? I want to make that clear, because I was making a joke before.
Sounds like y'all are trying to convince yourself.
Yeah, but now, I just want to make sure we don't kiss.
Right? Right.
And now Comey's looking at us like, what? Come on, man.
Yeah, he's like, wet sugar, you guys.
Yeah, wet sugar guys, right. So during the election, there's a big Senate race going down in Texas. Beto O'Rourke.
Yes.
Beto O'Rourke.
Beto.
And I never donate to elections. I donated to him.
Did you?
As a New Yorker. He's not even my senator.
Yeah.
I just like the way he talked. I like what he had to say. I hate Cruz.
Yeah. Those are two completely fine reasons.
So in the last, Cruz is winning by about 3 or 4 points right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Texas is about 20% more Republican than Democrat.
Right.
At least those who go to the polls.
Right.
So by all, demographics, Cruz should be ahead by 15, 20 percentage points.
Right.
He's only up by 4 percentage points. And Beto O'Rourke is hoping that a big turnout by Hispanics will get him over the top. So now Ted Cruz he's in charge of he's scared that he may lose the election to a Democrat. So who is he bringing in? He's bringing in Donald Trump.
Oh gosh.
Now during the election, Trump tagged Ted Cruz as Lying Ted.
Uh-huh.
And in the last debate, Cruz and O'Rourke called him Lying Ted, and he said, "That's not even my name. Your president, the head of your party, says you're Lying Ted. Why would we vote for Lying Ted?" So Trump had to come in now and say he's no longer Lying Ted. So Trump's calling him Beautiful Ted now.
Get out of here.
I can't make this up. At least that's what it's on this card.
Do you think we can find pictures of them hugging and kissing?
I don't know, but Trump says he's beautiful. So Trump says he's not Lying Ted anymore. He's Beautiful Ted.
Golly.
I'm calling him Beautiful Texas Ted. Still asked whether he had regrets.
there you go.
Oh, they're hugging.
Hugging.
Looking straight in each
Now, I have
other's
one
eyes.
picture. I'm calling the FBI right now. Julian, call the FBI.
Gazing
We
in each
have
other's
a
eyes.
picture of Donald Trump and beautiful Ted Cruz hugging each other, gazing into their eyes.
You know what's funny? I've never seen him that close with Melania Trump. Though.
Look at that. All right.
I've only seen it with him and with his daughter.
That is right. In front of everybody. It looks like they're doing the foxtrot, right?
Right.
1, 2, 3,
Great
4.
posture.
1, 2,
Great
3,
form.
4.
Great form.
Somebody's
2,
about to get
3,
down on one
4,
knee.
1, dip back.
Oh my
Who
God.
needs a dipper?
What?
Who's dipping?
Oh, Ted Cruz is dipping Donald.
Is dipping?
He's
You
dipping
think Donald Trump is the dippy?
Yes.
Oh man, I
Yes.
feel like
With
that.
his mushroom?
Let's see that again. Let's see that
No,
picture
not
one more
the
time. Do you
mushroom.
think they're doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. Keep going, Donald.
So awkward looking.
All right.
Brad,
So-
I feel like you just told us that you know the foxtrot.
I don't know the
It's what
foxtrot,
you
but I
just-
wanted to take dance lessons.
I
don't know how
wanted to,
I don't know
too.
how to dance. I mean,
Why
I know
don't we
how
all
to,
do this as
I mean,
a,
I
like
know,
a Brad
I
Squad
know
crew?
how to dance. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have a beat.
Yeah,
but I don't
you
know how
got
to
the
like.
rhythm.
I don't know how to be with a. I've been with a woman and slow dance and kind of like rock back and forth.
Right.
But I don't
But
know
the
how to
actual,
like
like,
tango like
that-
da 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 da. You know, like I
right.
want
should take a
Like
class.
a rose in the
Rose
mouth.
in the mouth. Yeah. Da-da-da-da.
Hey, I can totally see you with like a rose,
Rose
in the mouth.
Yeah,
your
right.
button
And I would
down.
have to have this hat on.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah.
Your button down to your belly button.
So the only pictures that
Belly
exist,
button.
the only pictures that exist of hugging and perhaps dancing
Right.
and gazing is beautiful Ted and the orange guy.
That
But
damn
there are
picture.
no pictures. There are no pictures, the FBI says, of Comey and Mueller hugging and kissing. But we have the picture of Trump and Cruz hugging and kissing. Can't make this stuff up.
Horrible.
That's so funny.
So meanwhile, Trump is calling himself a nationalist. But he says, I'm not a white nationalist. I'm just a nationalist. Nobody seems to know what the difference is.
There is no.
Okay. President Donald Trump on Tuesday doubled down on his self-characterization as a, quote, nationalist. That's him and Gwen. Is that him and Cruz making out again?
It sure is.
Look at how they gaze at each other's eyes.
I'm telling you.
Call the FBI.
There's really
I have at least 2 pictures now of Ted and Donald hugging and kissing. We have 2 on the Brad Show Live. We have cracked the case. We have cracked the case.
God.
It's a
We died
monumental
where
moment.
no one
We have cracked the case. So beautiful Ted and Donald. They are not national. They're not white nationalists, but just nationalists.
Okay.
Okay, we have video. Let's see what Donald has to say about being a nationalist. I'm told we have a video.
It's called a nationalist. And I say, really, we're not supposed to use that word. You know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist.
So,
oh my God.
I'm really not sure what the difference is, but, I'm not I'm a Nazi. I'm not a neo-Nazi.
Right, exactly.
I'm a supremacist, but I'm not a white supremacist.
Right. It's the same thing.
That's kind of like splitting hairs.
Yeah, I just typed in nationalist.
Yeah, what does it say on Google?
It's just a bunch of pictures of, surprisingly, Nazis.
Nazis.
It's just pictures of Nazis.
That's amazing, right?
Right. Wow.
Right.
Unbelievable. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah. And the president called the Democrats globalists. What's wrong with being a globalist?
Those things.
What's wrong with wanting to be together with the world?
Yeah, those things. He thinks those things are opposites. Like a globalist is the opposite of a nationalist.
That's amazing that you Google the word nationalist and the pictures come up.
I just saw
of Nazis and
white
Ku Klux
supremacists.
Klan.
Yeah.
That's literally all it is. I will show you guys even. I will even show you. Look at that. That's just a bunch of Nazis. That's just a bunch
That's your president.
That's your right. Nationalism. This is what it does.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
So
so annoying.
So there's this guy, a Florida guy, got kicked off of Southwest Airlines over the weekend.
Ooh.
He groped a woman. And Southwest Airlines threw him off the plane, rightfully so.
Right,
you don't
obviously.
grope other passengers.
Right.
But he said,
Well, he looks
"What
like
did
a
I do
creep.
wrong?" This guy says. Well, he looks like a nationalist
like a
also.
creep, yeah.
Yeah, like a creepy nationalist. Not a, So he says, "What I do wrong?" And I'm quoting this guy. His name is Michael Alexander, 49, of Tampa. He was aboard flight 5421 from Houston, Texas to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he grabbed the breast of a woman sitting in front of him. He just reached over. He reached over. He stood up. I mean, you got to really. That's not even like, oh, I'm sorry. Oops.
Right.
I mean, you got to reach. 1 second.
You got to stand up.
You got to like reach over.
Yeah, that's not an accident.
That's not an accident. That's not a. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not right. You can't even get a.
That is.
You got to. That's really bad.
That's
so
horrendous.
So he defended his actions as he was being dragged off to jail.
What? How could you possibly defend
Yeah,
this?
what did he say?
He said, the President of the United States says it's okay to grab women by their
Good.
private parts.
Good. Right.
That
Absolutely.
that is his defense.
Absolutely.
That's
it
his
should
defense.
Be. It should be his defense.
That's
our president.
Now, the victim told police that she dozed off after boarding, and within 20 minutes, she felt the movement on the right side of her sweater. She was sleeping.
Oh my God.
Roughly 30 minutes later, the victim felt fingers slowly grab the back of her arm, squeezing above the elbow, and slowly and attentively grope her right side again at and around her ribs and bra line.
Wow. That is
The
so
hand, the woman
disgusting.
said, had thick fingers. They were extraordinarily hairy and dirty fingernails. So not only is she getting, not only she's getting groped, but she's getting groped from a non-hygienic person.
Oh,
so after the second groping
Look at
incident, the
him.
victim turned around, told the passengers behind her that she didn't know why he thought it was okay to touch her,
Thank you.
and he
Yes,
needed
please.
to stop.
That dude looked like he smelled like pig feet and sauerkraut. That is just.
That's so specific.
Oh God.
So now he's facing 2 years in jail.
That's it.
And his defense is the president says it's okay to touch women by the pussy.
That's the only part where it's like, All right.
I
You got to give it to him because, look, that's what your president says, and it's not okay. That shows just how much this guy, like how dumb.
But that's what he says. I'm a nationalist. That's what gives people,
Exactly.
you know, carte blanche to say it's okay to be a racist.
Right.
It's not.
Words are power.
And here's a perfect example of people being completely insensitive. Megyn Kelly on. What show is Megyn Kelly on? I don't even know.
The Megyn Kelly Show.
The Megyn Kelly Show. Okay,
the Megyn Kelly Show.
I don't watch TV. I only watch Brad Show Live.
The only show that matters.
Right. You know what's so funny? Like I woke up last night at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I couldn't fall back to sleep.
Yeah.
So I watched the first hour of our show yesterday. Made me laugh.
Were you laughing?
I found it entertaining. So that's what I do when I can't sleep. I watch myself. So,
and we don't put you to
I'm
sleep.
like, so then I'm watching. I'm like, oh, that yo-yo, he's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, you go, Belgium kid. I'm like, go. So anyway, Megyn Kelly on her show, she wanted to know why it's offensive for white people to dress in blackface.
What? Okay. Are you serious?
She says, you do get in trouble if you're a white person who puts on a black face on Halloween or a black person who puts on a white face for Halloween. Back when I was a kid, that was okay as long as you were dressing up as a character.
What?
Yeah.
Let's watch the video.
What is racist? Because you do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on blackface on Halloween or a black person who puts on whiteface for Halloween. Back when I was a kid, that was okay.
You know, it's offensive.
You know that she ain't saying none of that while a black host was on that table. Because let it been me on that table.
Right. So she says, you know, it's not offensive if you put on a mask and running around with an axe. And I think the difference is this. Okay? About 100 years ago, people put on blackface as a way to mock people of color in shows. Here it is here on posters as a way to use that as to show that they're inferior, that there's
that's Jim Crow. It's not even 100 years ago.
Yeah, what
this
is that?
like
right.
This is like 60, 70 years, 80 years ago.
So nobody 100 years ago put axes through, costumes on black people.
Right.
If there were axes on black people and they were all dressed up as Freddy Krueger, then it would be offensive to dress up as Freddy Krueger now.
Exactly.
Okay? If 100 years ago they were using posters to, I don't know, what's another costume people do?
Any movie character.
Any movie character that was 100 years ago used for as racist paraphernalia, then it's racist today.
Right.
The fact that it was used for paraphernalia, for basis of racism in film, posters, books, makes it racist today.
Yes.
Not the actual putting on black makeup. It was the fact that you have to put it in historical context.
Exactly.
And that's what she doesn't get. She goes, oh, what's the big deal? But yeah, there's no big deal in putting on black makeup if you don't understand but if you understand the historical context of doing it, it's racist.
You know what? I guarantee, let her put on a black face and you continue to feel like it's not a big deal until you suffer the consequences.
Walk out on the street,
we'll see what happens. Then you'll see how big of a deal that is.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what people had to say. I didn't even see what people had to say here. New York Times reporter. Let's see if they agree with me or not. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
Oh, please, they better.
I don't know. We're going to find out. New York Times reporter at Aston Wesley tweeted, you can take the host out of Fox News, but you can't take the Fox News out of the host.
There it is.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Padma Lakshmi, Top Chef, wrote, I cannot believe the ignorance on this in 2018. You're on national television.
Right.
You have a responsibility to educate yourself on social issues at Megyn Kelly. This is so damaging.
Yes.
Okay. And here's some history of blackface, because I didn't even read this. I was just giving you, I give my opinions as I read them.
As you read,
okay,
right.
So I didn't even know I was going to read that.
This is why your face is in the newspapers, all right?
Right, exactly.
This is why my face is not in the newspapers?
It is in the newspapers.
Super lawyer list.
Super lawyer list.
Man. You're a smart guy.
All right, so here's a history of blackface. I don't even know the history, but I know that it was used racially,
right?
And that's and it's the racial, the context and racial history that makes it racist today.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
So in other words, let me make it clear: if that poster was a poster of Freddy Krueger, and they were putting Freddy Krueger on minorities and people of color, and using that to mock people of color, and to put them down, then
And
you know what? Wearing
Freddy
Freddy
Krueger
Krueger today would be racist.
Right.
Not the actual face, but it's because of the historical context in which it is. So let's see. History of blackface. Let's see.
Let's see.
The first minstrel shows were performed in the 1830s in New York by white performers with blackened faces and tattered clothing who imitated and mimicked enslaved Africans on southern plantations. These performances characterized blacks as lazy, ignorant, superstitious, hypersexual, and prone to being thieves. The influence on racial stereotyping on American society cannot be overstated. Popular American actors, including Shirley Temple, Judy Garland, Mickey Rooney, donned blackface, bridging the, it's called minstrel performance across generations and making blackface racial parody and stereotyping for family amusement. That is why it is racist today. And I didn't even know that card was going to be there. I'm like, but it's common sense. It's because of it historically.
Exactly.
Historically, it was used that way.
Exactly.
What else is it? You know what? 6:30 already, and we haven't even gotten to immigration.
Already, we better start blowing it.
That was a good schmooze.
That was a solid schmooze.
A solid schmooze.
All right. While I stretch for the immigration questions,
absolutely.
Please remind everybody what they're going to get if we get to 135 simultaneous viewers or 1,100 shares on Facebook.
Y'all, 1,100 shares or 135 views on YouTube, and you get your name in the drawing for a free consultation with Brad. That's a free $200 normally consultation with Brad, one-on-one, himself, over the phone, in person, however you want it, with Brad. Y'all, why aren't you sharing? Why aren't there 1,500 shares already right now? Jonathan, you think they can do it?
I know they can do it. And the way you guys can do it is just click that button on the bottom of the video. It's a little arrow pointing to the right. You click on that, you share it to different people's pages, your friends, different groups, send it in inbox, copy the link and send it in your WhatsApp. Send it in a text message. Let the people know to share it as well, and we can definitely hit that mark. All right, guys? Do it.
I think the key line in that is let the people know.
Yes.
Yes.
Let them know.
Let them know.
Let them know.
Shout it from the rooftops.
Shout it from the window. Or just put it in your WhatsApp.
Right.
All right. 1-800-529-5465. That's the number to call right now. You got a question, I got an answer. It may not be the answer you want to hear, but we call it Call with Your Immigration Questions. I'm going to answer them right now. All right. So we got Hashi in Des Moines, Iowa. Hashi.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Hashi.
Yeah, hello, Brad. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, my name is Adjukin Hashi, and
Yes.
I'm from Des Moines, Iowa.
Uh-huh.
Thanks to you guys and your team. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question regarding to immigration.
Okay.
Back in 2015, I was in Ohio, and I was charged with a minor misdemeanor.
Where are you originally from, Hashi?
I'm originally from Somalia.
Okay. And you have a green card?
Yes, I'm a permanent resident.
Okay. When did you get your permanent residence?
Back in 2000, I believe.
2000?
16.
2016 or 2000?
2016.
Okay. So now tell me about what happened in Ohio and when did that happen?
So what happened is I had a traffic citation. I rear-ended another car, and they said that was like a short clear distance. So, like that car, come my way and without signaling, and they charged me with a short clear distance, and they said that it's a minor misdemeanor traffic ticket. And I was wondering if that could have a negative impact on my naturalization.
No. Being a bad driver doesn't mean you can't become a citizen. You're fine.
Okay, and that's the only traffic citation that I've ever had.
You're fine. You're good to go.
All right, thank you so much.
Very welcome. Thank you for watching. Let's go to Marcia in Rochelle Park, New Jersey. Marcia.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, one quick question.
Yeah.
My son filed for me, he's a citizen, he filed for me in 2016, and he went to prison 2016. Same month he went to the prison, same month his passport was out. But anyhow, I got a work permit, and then I applied back, and I got some paper to work until next March.
Great.
But today my lawyers say we can't do anything.
Why?
Because they're gonna ask for a passport, and he's in prison, and there's no way of getting a passport. So what do you think I should do?
He's a U.S. citizen. They know he's a U.S. citizen. I think you should switch lawyers. It doesn't sound like very good advice. All right, just because he's in prison doesn't mean he can't file for you.
No, it's filed already. So you were saying, oh, you got to keep.
But just because you're in prison doesn't mean you're not a U.S. citizen. Just because your passport expired doesn't mean you're not a U.S. citizen. All the law says is, the law says if you're a U.S. citizen, you can file for your mom. There's no buts after. You're a U.S. citizen and you're over 21, you can file for your mom. There's no, you're a U.S. citizen, you can file for your mom, but if your passport expired, you can't. Or you're a U.S. citizen, you can file for your mom, but if you're in prison, you can't. So I don't know what your lawyer's saying.
If the passport is expired now,
so what?
The
He's still a
immigration might
citizen.
ask.
But he's still a citizen. So what? I think your lawyer. I think your lawyer is a novice or giving you bad advice. I can help you.
Yeah,
Hold
but
on.
what I'm saying, Brad, I got a work permit already.
And what
okay?
I am saying to you is, so what? You don't. So what? He's a citizen. He's a citizen. Period.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
You're getting bad advice.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to. And she needs a consultation. Let's go to Giovanna in Oklahoma City. Javaria.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
This is Javaria.
Hi, Javaria.
I'm fine, and I'm glad you guys liked my comment and included it on the show.
Okay, great.
Congratulations, you guys. You're doing a show, which is awesome.
Thank you.
So here, I have a couple of questions for you today, please. And that is, we have applied for my daughter, who is now going to turn 18, but we applied for her in May. I am a U.S. citizen now. I became a U.S. citizen in July. But the thing is, we're having to leave the country. So what difference does it make, or what would happen to her petition if the principal applicant, which happens to be my U.S. citizen spouse, that's my husband, and if we leave the country? And so what happens to her petition?
You both are leaving the country?
Yeah, because his mom has been diagnosed with cancer, and my mom is terminally ill as well. So
okay.
We're
And where
both
is your
having to
where's
leave.
your daughter now?
She's back in our home country, which is Pakistan.
Okay, that's fine. The I-130 is filed. She will get a visa appointment. You're not leaving the country forever. You're leaving it for a temporary period to care for your parents. And as long as you intend to permanently live in the United States with your daughter, that's all that's required. You don't have to be physically here every day.
Oh, okay. So I mean, and that could extend. And what if our visit or our stay there extends to like a year?
That's fine.
Or maybe more.
That's fine.
That's
Because you're intending. You just have to enter the United States with your daughter before she's 21 with the intention of living permanently in the United States. And that doesn't mean you just filed. It's going to be over a year before she gets her visa appointment. So now a year in advance, you go to the visa appointment. You say, yes, I've been home for the past year, taking care of my parent. They're terminally, we want them to live forever, obviously. But if you tell me one is terminally ill, they're not going to live forever. Okay, so in a year from now, either you're moving back to the United States or you intend to shortly. It's fine.
Right. And so the other question is, what would be the validity of the green card that is issued to her when, now that she's going to enter, she's going to get a permanent,
she will get a permanent green card, but she won't be a citizen. So she would have to wait she would be a permanent green card holder, but she would not be a citizen. She would have to wait 5 years to become a citizen.
And what's a permanent card, a green card, sorry?
That's a green card. You're a lawful resident. You're a lawful resident.
Yeah, but a green card has a validity like 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?
10 years, 10 years.
Okay, 10 years, right, I get it. And so then she has to complete her stay here for at least 5 years before she becomes citizen, right?
Correct.
Right, and what happens just in case we are unable to avail that immigrant visa which is issued to her? Let's say it comes in another 5 months, because it's already been 5 or 6 months that we applied for her. And what if we are not able to avail that immigrant visa?
It's not going to be 5 months. It's not going to be 5 months. It's going to be longer. You're from Pakistan. They're taking a long time. All right. And,
wow.
All right.
Oh, okay.
So you could always postpone a visa appointment. You could always just get the visa, enter, and return back. There's lots of things. I think you should maybe have a consultation with us, because this is going to go on for a little bit. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So hold on 1 second. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's go to Carrie in Edgewood, Maryland. Carrie.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I have a question. My interview is in a few days. My U.S. citizen spouse doesn't want to go to the interview.
Why?
There's actually tensions in the relationship. What do I do?
There's what? Tension, you said?
Tension.
What's the tension? Why?
There's abuse, but not physical abuse. There's emotional and...
What is the emotional abuse? Tell me. Give me one example.
Basically intimidating, for example.
Why is she
There's
doing
demands
that?
of...
Why is she doing that?
What's
going
money.
on with the two of you?
Money is basically the main driver behind it.
All right. Well, I think if she's not going to go, you can have a consultation with us, and we can see if we can develop an extreme emotional abuse case. Or alternatively, unfortunately, you'd have to get divorced from her. If she's not going to go, she doesn't love you, and there's no reason to be with her, and find another way. But let's have a consultation. We'll figure it out. So hold on 1 second. Let's go to Jason in Bloomington, Minnesota. Jason. Jason?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, what's up?
Can you hear me?
I do.
Yeah. So my question is, can I file for asylum even if I came with a J1 visa?
As long as you file within 1 year and you're eligible for asylum, why not?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a political turmoil.
You have to file within 1 year of coming here, no matter how you got here. J1.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't matter what visa you came here on, as long as you file within 1 year.
Yeah, I have less than a year here, so I can still do it.
Yep. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to Kellyanne in Brooklyn. Kellyanne in Brooklyn.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? You just
I'm
lower
good,
the sound in the back.
Hello.
Yeah, lower the sound in the back, please. I'm going to put you on hold. Please lower the sound in the back. I'll come back to you. Let's go to Lamora in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Lamora.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm good. I have one question.
Yeah.
I would like to know, I just did my citizenship, and I would like to find out, I have a son that is 29 years of age. If I should file for him, how long would it take him to get through?
If he's single, about 7 years.
7 years?
Yes.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Okay,
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Kellyanne in Brooklyn. Kellyanne.
Hello.
You have to lower it in the back, Kellyanne. I'm putting you back on hold again. You got to listen.
Maybe she doesn't understand what you're saying.
Lower the volume in the back. It's very simple. Okay, let's go to Deborah in Los Angeles, California. Deborah. Maybe, perhaps, if somebody in our...
Hello?
Deborah, hold on 1 second. Perhaps if somebody in our call center actually listened to our show and would speak to them and say, hey, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
Maybe. Keep my fingers crossed if they actually listen. All right, let's go to Deborah in Los Angeles, California. Deborah.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm a citizen, and I have a sister. Would I be able to file for her?
Yes, but it's going to take a while.
Oh, but another question. I have a record.
Doesn't matter. You're the citizen.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Sarah in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Sarah.
Oh, but another question. I have a...
Hello. Hi, Sarah. You got to lower the volume in the back. Hold on 1 second. I can't hear her and me. It's just I can't. So let's go to, where are we going? Emo in Guyana. Emo.
Hey. Hello. Hi.
Hey, how are
I'm
you?
Simo. Okay, I'm just have some question for you.
Go ahead.
My sister filed for me from California in 2013. And I got a letter from the visa sender stating I got many years to wait. I have a priority date.
It's your sister?
In 2000. Yeah, my sister.
Yeah, you got about another 5-6 years ahead of you.
5-6 years?
Yeah, hang in there.
Okay, 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang in there. Don't sell the house
Thank
yet.
you.
All right. Let's go to Sarah in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Sarah.
Yes, good
Hey, how are
evening.
you?
My name is Sarah. Yeah, can you hear me now?
I do hear you, yes.
Okay, I have a case of, I want to apply for a citizen. I am a green card holder.
Right.
And since 2009, I have a green card. 2012, I've been charged with hitting my son, and I was convicted assault and battery, 2 years probation. I finished the 2 years
Where did this
on
happen?
2000. I'm sorry.
What state did this happen in?
Maryland. Actually, Virginia.
Virginia. Okay.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was finished my probations on 2014.
Right.
And now I want to apply for the citizen because my green card is supposed to be finished on February 2019.
Yeah, don't do that. Have a consultation with me because I don't know the penal code in Virginia. I want to make sure that you're not deportable, that you're eligible for your citizenship. So you would require a consultation because I don't know the penal code of Virginia off the top of my head. I would have to look it up.
How do we call you, sir?
I'm going to put you on hold, and somebody in my office is going to pick up the phone and schedule a consultation for you. So hold on.
So don't apply for the citizen right now?
Wait until you speak to me. We're going to wait a week. Hold off 1 week.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Let's go to Carrie in Edgewood, Maryland. Carrie.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I raised the question already, but I just have it another twisted.
What's the twist?
Can I file a I-360? I-360.
That's the abuse case. That's why I told you that you would need to have a consultation to see if we can develop something for you and see if you actually would qualify. I don't develop it. It's your case, not mine. But we have to see if you would qualify. But the form I-360 is what you would file if you're filing as an abused spouse. Hold on. Let's go to Tina in Bangor, Maine. Tina.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. All right. So I'm married to a U.S. citizen. I got my 2-year green card in June of this year.
Mm-hmm.
He also filed for my son in Jamaica. He got a notice in the mail in August of this year to say that the petition has been approved and it was sent to the U.S. Department of State National Visa Center. What does that mean and what happens after that?
It means the visa petition was approved. And who sponsored who?
My husband.
Okay.
He's sponsoring my son.
Okay, so then, and how old's your son?
He's 14.
Okay, so what that means is that the visa petition was approved. Now it goes to the National Visa Center. They're going to send you for fee bills. You're going to do biographic data. You're going to give an affidavit of support, and then they're going to send it all down to the U.S. Embassy. So basically, the National Visa Center does all the work for the U.S. Embassy, and then the U.S. Embassy just gives the interview.
Okay, so
you're on the way.
Until I hear from them again?
You're going to hear from them in about 8 weeks from the time that it was approved. All right, so hang in there. You're on the way. It's good.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you, Brad.
All right, Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, where are we at with sharing here? With Nobody Cares today?
252 shares on Facebook,
All right,
but
so
73 watching on YouTube.
Yeah, it sounds like it's Tough Luck Tuesdays. I think
gonna
that's what we're going to be calling it. Free it's not going to be. It's not going to be Thrilling Tuesdays when we give away free consultations.
Have about 40 minutes.
Looks like it's going to be Tough Luck Tuesday. Nobody gets anything, right?
I have faith that they can pull it out.
Do you think it's going to be a Tough Luck Tuesday or a free consultation Tuesday?
I think it's going to be free consultation.
It can definitely be a free consultation Tuesday.
I have faith because right now, what they're going to do, Brad, they're going to copy the link in YouTube because it looks like YouTube wants it just a little bit more. So everyone on YouTube is going to copy the link right now, and they're going to send it as a text or a WhatsApp to 5 people.
And let them know to watch it right now.
Tell them they're live right now, answering your questions right now. And that's how we're going to get there.
I know all 73 people know somebody who would need a consultation for immigration. So just send it to them right now and tell them to actually comment as well so we can count them in on the drawing.
Yes. If you don't comment, we don't see it.
All right. So we have this part of the show. We don't do it often.
What is
that? But I would like to do it today.
Oh.
All right, yeah, so throw a little curveball out.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called social media check-in. We're going to be answering your immigration questions that you leave. The curveball, we do this every day, of course.
Yeah, you tricked us
I tricked you. We do this every day, of course, where I answer your questions that you leave in the comment section.
I don't think Kim was ready. Look at
that. Kim was not ready for that, right?
I wasn't.
I'm trying to keep you up on your toes here.
I thought stuff was going to happen, Brad. Yeah. Our first question is from Gloria, who said, if someone came here in the U.S. as a tourist, was granted a 10-year visa, only he knows he has to leave every 6 months. But now it's been 6 years since he's been here. If he leaves, what's the possibility of ever reinstating his visa and coming back as a tourist?
0%. 0% he will come back as a tourist.
All right, we got one from Man City, the noisy neighbor on YouTube. So this is Kim.
Yeah.
Remember my question. So this is a question that he had asked you. So this is a follow-up. You think that they will deny whoever he was talking about because he works illegally? Because how will he support his wife? I'm confused. So I guess he was asking about someone who can probably sponsor his wife, but he works illegally.
I think it was a green card holder, if I remember correctly, a green card holder who was filing for his wife, and they had caught him working illegally. Can he still sponsor his wife?
Can he still sponsor?
How could a green card holder be working illegally?
That's a great question, Brad.
Thank you very much.
That's a great question.
So how about if he's not a green card holder?
Then an illegal alien cannot sponsor his wife.
Hold on, because we got Jenny Licious, who's Jenny from the Cubicle, as you guys know her.
Right. She could have multiple names, like you had multiple names in the beginning until we settled on one.
So Jenny Licious is
to me,
next
she's
to
Jenny Lish.
Yeah.
To me, she's
Jenny from the Cubicle.
She's Jenny from the Cubicle.
Right.
Sorry, Jay Lish.
Sorry, Jenny from the Cubicle.
So his first question was, my friend's doing an I-601A, but they asked for proof of employment.
So he's working and not paying taxes.
Correct.
So guess what?
We got.
Life sucks in America. You got to pay taxes. I don't feel bad for you. I pay a lot of taxes here. So you got to go back and pay your taxes. No way around it. And if you can't afford to pay it, we got Carmela who can wipe it away.
We'll help you.
That's correct.
Our next question is from Angela Kurt, who said, could someone who's in withholding of removal get a U visa?
Sure.
All right. That's it?
Sure is the answer.
Sure. I don't know if you're going to, because usually you'll be like, sure, and then I start asking, and he's like, but you know.
But, that's true.
Just making sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So anyway, let me tell you what the news is.
All right, Leo David says, can my father petition for me after I overstayed, married, and had kids?
Yes, but you're going to need a provisional waiver, and it's going to take a very long time.
Ron Adams said, my son's 751 got denied, but I have an approved 360. Could I refile his 751 or just the 485, just like what I did on mine? I filed my 475. Please advise.
The 475.
The 475.
There's no 475.
I'm assuming the 485.
Yes.
That's a lot of numbers, Brad.
Yes. I'm driving on the 475 and I make a right-hand turn on Route 2.
On I-30. Yeah, exactly.
It depends on what the situation is. I mean, I don't know if he's in removal, if he just got denied. So I would need to see exactly where his situation is and figure out which way would be the best. But either way may work.
All right, we got one from YouTube, Johnny Walker. Don't know what flavor. Hope red label. What are I'm such an alcoholic.
I would like to marry Donna Julio.
Right.
Hi, I'm Johnny Walker, and I'd like to marry Don Julio.
Only Mr. 1942.
Yes, he was born in 1942.
That's lovely. Okay.
After show.
Woo, yeah, after show. What are the requirements for an I-601 waiver?
It depends on what the waiver's for. What is the waiver for? There's a lot of different 601 waivers. Tell me what the waiver's for. What did you do wrong?
We've got another question from Princess Gloria Amaka Idara. Yes, Queen. Princess. Please, what does your name was updated for Form I-360 mean? So on Form I-360, what does it mean when it says your name was updated?
Your name was updated?
Your name was, I'm assuming it's, the real question is, what is it asking when it's asking you, has your name been updated?
I have no idea. I don't know what question they're asking. I would have to look at the form.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if she changed her name at some point?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that question is.
We need more details with that.
Definitely.
Tina has a question on YouTube. Hey, Brad and Squad, what's up? My friend married a green card holder, and he wanted to file for her now, or should she wait till he becomes a citizen?
File now, and then upgrade when you become a citizen.
Kayla Linton on YouTube said, Brad, I'm freaking out. It's been almost 5 months since I filed my I-765, and I've yet to get a biometric appointment. Help!
And that was with caps and exclamation
points. Caps and exclamation points.
You obviously screwed up somehow if you haven't got a biometric in 5 months. Come see me immediately!
And that was with caps as well.
All caps and exclamation points.
Not like Lisa Bling Rose.
Correct.
That's all caps.
Right. Simone Sim on YouTube. I went to my interview last week, Monday, and I was approved. I got my green card within 2 days. I did not use a lawyer, but I listened to the Brad show and learned so much from the show. That is amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
That
she got
amazing.
through.
And she got through.
Wonderful.
That's a beautiful.
We like that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful.
That is beautiful.
That could have been the comment of the day.
It could have, couldn't it, Brad?
But this was social media.
Yes.
You know, this is what they did.
That's where the comments of the day come from, Jonathan.
Yeah, my bad.
Sure could have been a comment.
You didn't ask a question, you just said a comment.
That's okay.
All right, any more questions?
I got one more. Can I squeeze in one more?
Squeeze one more.
Shantae said, I came to the U.S. on a J1 visa, which has already expired. I'm currently looking to apply for a J1 waiver and adjustment of status since August of this year. I'm wondering, can I travel within the U.S. via airplane without getting in trouble with immigration at the airport?
You should be able to travel without a problem. I can't, the odds that anybody would bother you are extraordinarily small.
Perfection.
All right.
Awesome.
So, a while back, we haven't shown this yet, about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I spoke with a gentleman by the name of Brad.
Brad?
Brad.
Oh my God, he must have been your favorite ever.
No.
No.
But I liked him.
Okay.
But I liked him. His name was Brad Bischoff. He's an independent filmmaker who recently released a short documentary titled Field Song about his wife's father, who he didn't know until his story until he married his wife.
Mm-hmm.
But his wife's father grew up as a migrant field worker in the tomato fields in California. And then he made a film about his father growing up as a migrant worker, working in the fields as a kid in California. And they both joined me to discuss the film and Roberto's experience as a young migrant worker. Let's check it out. Brad Bischoff is a director, writer, editor. He has recently been named 25 New Faces in Independent Film by Filmmaker magazine. Brad's father-in-law, Roberto Olivera, He grew up as a migrant worker in the tomato fields of Southern California. Brad recently directed a movie, a short film entitled Field Song, based upon his father-in-law's experience in the fields. They both join me today to discuss the film, Roberto's story, and why Brad found the story so inspiring. Welcome, Brad. Welcome, Roberto. Let's watch a clip from Brad's film, Field Song.
Nací en Los Files, al norte de Tijuana, en una vecindad que se llamaba Otay. Ahora es un pueblo, pero en ese tiempo eran puros files de tomate. Mi mamá cruzó la frontera para trabajar en el tomate y yo nací allí. Mi padrastro era un toro, una mula. Trabajaba como oso. No tenía cariño ni amor. Odiarlo porque era tan cruel. Pero el hombre sabía trabajar. Él entendía que la vida era sufrir. Trabajaba 8 o 10 horas al día y luego en la noche en los empaques. Y yo le ayudaba. Es una lección que él me enseñó. Que el dolor, las cortadas, la pesada del fil, se puede sobrevivir y uno puede cumplir con lo que uno quiere.
Roberto, this is you talking?
Absolutely.
Okay, and Brad, you and Roberto's daughter, Maria, you're married, correct?
Yes.
So how long have you been married to Maria now?
5 years in.
About 5 years. And you have children with her?
2 kids, yeah, a 3.5-year-old daughter and a 1.5-year-old son.
So now, Roberto has a very unique story growing up. He's not, you wouldn't recognize him apparently, the type of story he had by meeting him today. How did you discover his story?
I didn't know anything about his past or growing up working the fields until my wife and I just moved to California with our children. And as a way to get on our feet, he offered for us to kind of stay with them for a little bit. And while we were there, I feel like I really got to know him as I saw him every day. And we actually lived right by the fields that he worked. So on a couple of car drives together, I think candidly, he had just told me, I used to work on those fields. And that's sort of how it all began.
And those fields still exist today. So how would you describe Roberto for people who don't know him?
I think he's a poet. He's an artist. He's a man of Shakespeare. And he's also just one of the hardest working people I know. From everything I've been told by my wife and him growing up before I knew him, he broke, almost broke his back working those fields and put himself through college. And then he's like a self-made man.
So you chose a very simple approach, just his voice in Spanish, empty fields. Tell me why you chose that.
I wanted to basically, because you don't see him until the end of the film. And I wanted to give the fields a face. So it's as if you're driving by the fields, which I do every day. I drive by them every day. And it's almost, you forget that it's not just a beautiful landscape. There's actually pain there. There's hardship there. There's survival there. And I wanted to show it as if you're just driving by, and then it's not until the end that you actually see the portrait of the man who worked them. So it was always about the reveal to me.
Mm-hmm. And when did you make this film?
2 years ago.
And when you were making this film, immigration is still in news today. It was big in the news 2 years ago. Did you make this film in reaction to immigration?
I wanted to basically humanize this idea of somebody, and I didn't approach it with a political message or intent. I wanted to basically honor a story that I heard from my father-in-law, and so we tell it through a poem, through a real story, and that's Roberto's story.
So, Roberto, when Brad approached you about doing the film, what did you think?
I was not happy about the idea. My wife and family were, you should do this. You need to tell this story. I had spent time with Bradley. I had shared these stories with him, and he said, well, I want to do it. And I finally agreed to it, but I was reticent at first because the stories of family and life, some of them are not that pretty. you wonder whether or not they should be told. But we got into one story in particular about my stepfather, the violence of some of those circumstances and how I took those lessons and what I made of them in my life were positive, and I took them that way. When Bradley told me we need to say this, then I agreed.
Would you be willing to share one of the incidents and a lesson that you learned from it?
One evening, my stepfather came home and his hands were completely bloodied. It was obvious that someone had either knifed him or pitchforked his hands. He was very drunk. He worked in the fields both in the day and in the evening, and he had gotten in some kind of an altercation. And his hands literally had holes through the fingers. And he came home, and he was very excited and proud. And he sat at the table, and he said, I beat the hell out of that son of a gun. And he took a bottle of tequila, and he poured the alcohol on his hands and rubbed them together and said, I made it through it. And some people would have looked at it and said, wow, I mean, this guy is crazy. I looked at it and said, you know what, this guy can do anything. And if he can do anything, I can do anything. This guy could work like nobody I've ever met in my life. And I took that lesson along with my mother's lessons from this horse, from this bull, from this mule. If I just work like hell, I can do something with my life.
Where were you born?
I was born in San Diego. Most of my family was born in Tijuana. My mother was an American citizen, second generation. She lived in Los Angeles, and my father found her there and took her back to Mexico, and the whole family was born in Tijuana. But my mother would cross the border to work in the American fields. You would walk across in those days.
There was no border security. You just walked across.
You just walked across. I mean, it was an open border.
Right.
I mean, yeah, there was a checkpoint, but if you didn't want to go through the checkpoint, you just walked across.
Walk 100 yards down the street.
Field. I had friends that lived in the Otay Mesa, which is California, and she walked across there at 7.5 months pregnant. And she was working in the tomato fields there. There was celery and all that stuff, but at that time it was the tomato fields. She got sunstroke, and I was born in the United States. So as an American citizen, I was the first one.
What happened to your father?
My father still lived in Mexico. He's a raging alcoholic. My mother took me back, and we stayed another 5 years, and she had one more daughter in the United States the same way, my sister Raquel. When I was about 4.5, and my sister was 3, she decided that was enough, and she got on a train and brought all the kids and all of us to Ventura County, and that's where she met my stepfather, and we started working in the fields together.
There was cruelty on the behalf of your stepfather on you. Tell us about what it was like working in the fields, when you started working in the fields and what you were doing.
You know, when you're a kid and you're 5 years old, 6 years old, and you're working in the walnut orchards, it's an adventure. You know, that they use these giant hooks and you put them up and shake the tree and the walnuts fall. It's like raining golf balls coming down on you. And obviously in the tomato fields and the carrots and the onions, it became tedious. And by the time I was 13, 14 years old, I mean, they had children's crews, and that was the time of the Bracero program, which they brought Koreans and Filipinos and Japanese and Mexicans. It was just after World War II, so they had agricultural labor and huge. They had huge camps. By the time I was 13, I was shining shoes for migrant workers in all of those camps, but I was working in the fields during the day, and I enjoyed it, and my family did it together. In the summer months, we would all go there, all 5 of us. We would drag the boxes of tomato through the field and fill them up and then take them back and stack them, and I didn't know better. I mean, what could I say? The lesson was from my stepfather, work.
You've worked your entire life. Was there ever a time when you didn't work? Since you were 5?
Oh, no.
Never.
I've worked, and I taught people how to make $150,000, $250,000 a year being salesmen. And those were the lessons that I learned as a field worker. I tried to teach that work ethic to my children without the cruelty, obviously. I have nothing but the proudest moments about my girls and my boy. And you know what? When you're a parent and you can say, my children came out to be good people, they respect, they care. I nurtured their education in a multicultural framework and a multi-religious framework. I tried to teach them that God's house has many rooms and there's room for everybody. And I'm very proud of them, all of them, including Mireya for marrying Bradley.
When you were growing up, tell us about where you lived.
I lived in a community called La Colonia. It was a World War II, post-World War II small housing project in Ventura County. By that time, if you'll pardon the expression, I don't mean it in any offensive way, most of the white Americans who were privileged and had lived there had moved out, and it had become a barrio. It had become a staging place for first generation and first arrival immigrants, all Mexican in that area, and some Filipino because of the field work. We had a one-bedroom home, one bathroom, and there were 6 of us there, and there were often extended family there, and I slept on a small fold-up cot in the kitchen. Most of my life I slept on the floor. It wasn't a bad thing. In fact, when I married Deborah, there were times where I slept on the floor in our homes, and she was going, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "I just feel more comfortable on the floor. Come join me."
You started working in the fields at 5. You were able to go to school and work, I understand, 2 different jobs at the same time. How were you able to do all of that?
It was just something that was important. There was a dark side to it. Let me share it. I did not want to be around my stepfather. By the time I was in my early teens, the relationship had grown extremely violent. I didn't want to be home. So I worked in the fields during the day, or I went to school during the day, and then I worked in restaurants until midnight, and I'd come home at 1 o'clock in the morning, get up and do that. And strangely enough, those habits still follow me.
When was the last time you saw your stepfather?
Oh my God. I never saw my mother after I left for almost 6 years. I had to sneak into the house because it was a violent situation. If he didn't accost me, he accosted her for seeing me. I went to the hospital when he died. And I remember having a discussion with my sister when he was dying some 20 years ago, and I thought I should pay respects, and I said to my sister, I'm trying to remember the good times, and she said there were never any good times, and he occasioned her suffering as a young woman probably more than mine. Mine was just the violence of 2 men, but that's probably enough said there.
You ended up getting a scholarship to college. How did your parents react to that, and how did you get the scholarship?
It was a program in education during that time where they took disadvantaged youth and said, hey, this guy, this girl, they might have some merit. Let's put them in college and see if they can succeed. There was a gentleman named Mr. Appenzeller. I'll never forget him. I met him when I was a freshman in high school, and he just took a liking to me, and he called me into his office one day and said, they have this program at the University of Santa Barbara, and if you apply, I think you can get into that university, and I think you can do that if you work hard. And that was pretty familiar to me. It resonated with me, from the cruelty of my stepfather to the philosophy of my mother. And sure enough, I got into the University of Santa Barbara. I went there. From there, I went to USC Law School, and I just grunted it out. What did John McCain say? He said, I had the distinction of graduating at the bottom of my class. And yes, I did. I graduated at the bottom of my class.
How did you feel leaving your parents? There was an issue about you leaving for college. Tell me about that.
It was terrible. My stepfather did not want me to leave because I was a wage earner. At 15, 16 years old, 17, I was already earning men's wages during the summer, so I was bringing home a full field worker's wage. I was working contract field, which meant they paid you by the boxes you picked. So all that money went to the family. He didn't want me to leave. And he said, no, no way, you're not going to college. One evening at 4 o'clock in the morning, it was my mother and I's custom. She said to me, I packed your suitcase. It's outside by the corner. You take that offer from that college and you go and you don't look back. Do you hear me? You don't look back. And so I left. She wasn't throwing me out of the house. She was telling me, make a life. If I get to see you again, it will be a good thing.
I thought this was really interesting, you know, what you say about what your mom taught you. She said, life is suffering. It was just about hard work and hard work in the fields, and life is all about suffering. Is that inspirational to you, or does that hurt you when you hear about life suffering?
It took me years to understand what she was saying. For some period of time, I thought she was just negative, but it wasn't that way at all. In fact, she was teaching me a lesson that whatever you want to do, you have to work for. Make your way a day at a time. When I got out of law school, I worked for Ventura County Council for a period of time as a clerk. I worked at a contract and family law firm, and then I got into the title insurance business. And I've been a title insurance salesperson and executive and CEO for probably 30 years.
You never did any more labor?
No, I haven't. I haven't gone back to the fields.
No.
But I drive by them every day, and
you see them.
I remember them.
How did you ultimately get to become a well-adjusted person, having grown up the way you did?
All of us have traumas. That was just our life. I did not want to wallow in the violence. I didn't want to wallow in that, although I have scars about what happened to my sister. But she has made her way. She's a Regent scholar and a doctorate in Spanish literature, and she's about to retire. She had many dark moments, but she made her way. I think part of it was my mother telling us, if you wallow in the things that have happened to you, you see no promise in the opportunity before you. This is a country where you can do that. You can come from suffering and means, and you can suffer here, and yet if you struggle, you can get there. And there's many that don't. There's sad stories, okay? I've lost 2 brothers to violence and drugs. I've lost a brother to alcohol. I had a brother burned alive in a fire and drugs. I mean, I've lost a sister to stomach ailments when we were just children because there was no medical care here in this country in 1953, 1956.
You ever think about why your mother had such great common sense to impart on her children, yet ended up staying with somebody that you're describing as a monster?
Oh, he beat the hell out of her.
She was scared.
I have visions of it. I have nightmares of it. I can see him striking her. I think she struggled to my first father's alcoholism in Mexico and tried to make a go of it, and it didn't work. And then she came here and she married this man. And I don't know today, and this is a sad thing. I mean, ask yourself, have I taken the time to know the life of my parents? With all that I've achieved, I don't really know if my mother was ever in love with that man. I just know that she did everything she could so that he could support us and take care of us. And if it was one chicken or a bologna and cheese sandwich, it was there on the table until I left. I think her lesson was always that life is suffering, but you can persevere.
Her success is looking at how you turned out, how your sister turned out, successful people, despite everything and the traumas and the heartache and the abuse. She successfully raised 2 successful children. Tell us if you've reached your American dream or what your American dream would look like if you haven't reached it.
I've lived it. I'm happy with the American dream, and I think it's still real. I think the cynicism and the political bantering that is going on and the social platforms that represent it otherwise, there's still people here. I see them every day. I interact with them. I'm probably going to go back and practice law in a small community, and there's people every day struggling to achieve this American dream, and they're happy here. They don't want to go back to Mexico. They don't want to go back to Korea. They don't want to go back to China. They think this is a place where they can be, but more importantly, they believe this is a place where their children can be better than them. Let me not be political. I mean, this is not the best country in the world. It's the only country in the world where you can achieve from meager places a dream of reality. You may not be president of the United States, you may not be a lawyer, but you will make a living and your children will grow and achieve. That is a rare opportunity in life for an immigrant.
Kind of like with the film, I feel like we're all so much more alike than you think, regardless of race or cultural background. Once you sit down and talk to somebody face to face and have a conversation, you realize that there's universal human truths that we all share. And, you know, my dream is currently being lived. I'm married to the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, and I have 2 kids with her, and we make films. And we travel around, and that in itself is work too, but I certainly enjoy it, and that's my dream.
Do you plan to do any more movies with Roberto in the future?
I would love to. Yeah, we got to do a feature. We got to do one.
Well, thank you both for coming on. The movie, the short film is called Field Song, written and directed by Brad Bischoff, about his father-in-law Roberto Olivero's upbringing and ultimate success in life. Thank you both for coming on. I actually look forward to watching it. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's actually a pretty good story, how Roberto overcame everything from his childhood to be successful like that.
Yeah. I really love that point about you never really know how your parents were feeling and what...
I was thinking about that as, you know, because I haven't seen this interview. We did this a while back. I'm just showing it now for the first time. And I was just thinking about that. I was thinking about my own parents. I was like, I wonder...
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's so much that you... I remember for like a school assignment one time, they told us to interview our grandparents, and my grandfather gave me basically a fair amount of his life story.
That you would have never known.
Never known. Like, he had been an in-demand diamond salesman in Antwerp. Right. He had just had this crazy...
Antwerp?
Yeah, in Antwerp.
Who would have known that your grandfather was from Antwerp?
Yeah, craziness.
Yes.
You never know.
All right, Antwerp Annie.
That's my middle name, you know.
Antwerp?
Yeah.
Antwerp is my middle name. Thanks, Jan.
Right. Belgium, Antwerp.
Right.
It's a full government.
Yes. All right, we got some social media to finish up. Let's go.
We do. Paul said, my sister, who is a U.S. citizen, filed an I-130 for me in December of 2016, but it hasn't been approved yet. How long until it's approved?
The brother-sister?
Brother-sister.
Oh, it's going to be years.
Tanisha on YouTube says, how do you withdraw your case from USCIS?
You write them a letter.
Okay, and a follow-up. What if you get an interview date after then change your address to USCIS after said your interview has been canceled for unseen reasons? Will they reschedule? What does that mean?
Yes, they'll reschedule it for you.
Cordella said, how long does it take for a green card holder to file for a son over 21 years old?
7 years.
All right, Crystal Walker Campbell says, if my husband filed for me and added my 2 minor kids, but I'm awaiting my interview, can he file for my kids' I-130 before I actually go to my interview?
Yes.
Tanya Winter said, when a U.S. citizen files for a spouse, but married less than 2 years, but doesn't get an interview or a green card, after 2 years, do they automatically get a 10-year green card?
Yes. They become if you get the green card after the 2nd year anniversary of your marriage, you get a 10-year card. You don't get a conditional card.
No matter when you filed.
No matter when you filed.
All right, San Jose Lion. on YouTube says, I got a criminal record which is 242/243D misdemeanor, which happened 10 years ago. Can I apply for my citizenship at the moment? I spent 5 months in jail with 3 years probation.
I have no idea what 243, 242 is. I don't know what state this is. Let's see your disposition and then we'll figure it out.
Ruthie Cutie said, should someone file the EAD form when adjusting the status of a 9-year-old?
Yes, because they should have a social security number. Not they're not going to work, but you get a social security number.
Okay, this is a follow-up. Do you remember Johnny Walker's question? So he's saying the I-601 waiver is for fraud, misrepresentation. What's the requirement?
It's extreme hardship to your petitioning spouse or parent.
Kuljit said, I'm asking for a friend. He wants to get married to his girlfriend, but he's a green card holder for the last 3 years. Will she be able to get filed for by him? So will she be able to get her green card?
A lawful resident can sponsor his wife.
Okay, Abdikarim Ali says, hi, why is a traffic accident citation a minor misdemeanor and does it stay on your record forever? And how does it impact your naturalizations? Thank you.
Because the legislature in whatever state you're in says it is. Okay, why is this a misdemeanor? Why is this a felony? Why is this a crime? Because the legislature in the state you live in says that's what it is. As far as affecting your citizenship, if it goes to your poor moral character, it could affect your citizenship. Absolutely. Depends on what the statute says and what you did.
Lady Leah said...
Oh, wait. Isn't that one of the winners?
She is one of our winners.
You want to do the free consultation right now?
I think she's...
I'll do it right now.
No, Lady Leah's an MVP. She's also collecting questions from her friends.
Okay.
Lady Leah said, what are the filing fees for kids who are under 16 and not in the U.S.?
I guess a parent is filing.
I'm assuming a parent.
$535.
With a free consultation now.
Yes. You used it up. Sorry.
That was that.
No. All right. Joy Parnell says, hi, Brad. My friend's mother, she's here in the USA for about 40 years now. She's looking about her papers, and they sent her back to her country to get a visa and come back to the USA, and then she'll get her green card. What do you think about that?
Who's sponsoring her?
Doesn't say, but just says that the friend's mother. So maybe
I wouldn't be sending anybody home without a provisional waiver if they overstayed.
And our final question is from Oluwarotimi. I'm sorry. My friend took his interview in August, and it's been more than 30 days. They haven't called him about the ceremony yet. I'm assuming this was his naturalization interview. What should he do?
Wait another 60 days. If he doesn't get it in 90 days, call me.
Woo! Okay.
Woo! And comments of the day, Belgium Kim. Comments of the day.
Our first one is from Carol Anderson the Tiger, who said, my American dream is for everyone to love each other and be one.
Oh,
that's adorable.
Very nice.
I love that. Our second one is from our winner, Lady Leah, who said, OMG, I've never won anything in my whole life. I feel so special.
Oh, congratulations.
Very good.
Now play the lottery,
That's
Lady
right.
Leah.
That's right.
$1 billion. Yeah.
True.
We've got one from...
By the way, if I win the $1 billion, I will be here tomorrow.
You will?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. If I win the $1 billion, yes. I will not be here tomorrow. That's not true.
And if I win the $1 billion, the share game tomorrow will be for my winning lottery ticket.
Get out of here. Listen.
The share game will be for a $1 billion lottery ticket.
I would turn off our Facebook stream and snatch it out of your hand.
Let me tell you, every damn piece of words in the drum would be Jonathan Elliott.
Yes, absolutely.
Serious face.
You would rig it. We've got Natalie Nichols was having a problem with a fussy baby. You know she has that newborn baby, little fussy baby. So Lisa Bling Rose had
What's her idea?
She said, Natalie, let the baby watch Uncle Brad.
Hey, that would be crazy if Uncle Brad's voice just calm down every baby.
We have multiple babies in our Brad squad that
maybe you guys should record your baby watching.
Yes. They're like, I grew up watching Brad Show Live. You know, like how I'm singing the Brady Bunch? Like in 20 years, they're going to be like,
It's going to be a group of people that are like, how did that song go again? And then one person's going to start it. Oh, you guys, so famous. And then lastly, we had Tanisha McNabb, who was incredibly moved by Brad and Roberto's story. And she said, wow, what a story. OMG, thanks. God bless you and your family.
Very nice.
Agreed.
And I have a comment today from our buddy Denisha down in Trinidad.
Oh, what'd she say?
She says, winning on this show is like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is true.
That is true.
I mean, you're getting picked out of how many hundreds of people.
Now, unfortunately, nobody is going to win anything today.
No.
Because we did not get up to
They didn't get there.
135 people watching simultaneously on YouTube, and we did not get anywhere near 1,100 shares on Facebook. But there's always tomorrow to pick from the machine. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get it done. See you all tomorrow. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?